Welcome back, everyone, to the Bitcoin Business Bureau. I'm your host, as always, Litecoin Leader. So I've been looking at a few different coins to try and find solutions to the Ethereum 2.0. We're never going to get Ethereum again. That's the second upgrade. It's never going to happen. There's bandwidth issues on this network. How are we going to deal with it? That's the problem I've been investigating. So in my investigations, I found Loopring, I found Matic, which are both coins that are coming out right now. There's a third coin I found, and it's just for subscribers only. Now, it's not the sexiest one, but it does look like it has potential to double, maybe even triple in value. So if that's an interest of you, hey, it's an interest to me, and it deserved a space on, the cheap area of the board, but I added it on there because I found 3 coins and I put it on the list. So that's going to be the third coin that we're going to talk about today, and let's just dig into it. So once again, we take a look at the ALTCOINopoly board. We're continuing to work through zone 1, which is the first side of the board, and we're getting close to wrapping that up as we go to zone 1, and we're in the cheap Breton district. So we don't have too many coins left in the space. I won't go through all the coins every video, so I trust that you're keeping good track. I will point out, well, let's go ahead and I'll highlight some of them. Here's some of the highlights of the first 5. We're on coin number 6 now, and that coin happens to be Loom. Now, Loom is an interesting coin. It is one of the coins that I discovered in digging into solving the Ethereum problem. When I looked a couple months ago and I found Loom, I found the other coins as well. I found, and I'll mention them because they've been released already. You have Loopring and you have Matic. And Matic is, is coming out this week as well. So I think both of those are free. But Loom is subscribers only, so that completes the set of the 3. And it happens to be I think it's the cheapest of the 3 places because it's not the sexiest of the 3. But it does solve a problem, and it does work with Ethereum side chains and declottering the network. So that is the piece for today. We're going to talk about Loom, what it does, and how it helps out the Ethereum network and the technology behind it. And we'll dig right into that and the charts as well. So what is Loom? Well, let's start at the very place where it's traded the most, which is Coinbase. And back in 2018, late 2018, Coinbase added 4 coins: Civic, District 0x, Loom, and Mana, which is Decentraland. So not a whole lot of fanfare, to be honest. It was like, why did they add these coins? Civic is a pretty good coin. And there's communities around each one of these, but they weren't much fanfare. So what is Loom, and why should we care? Loom is another coin that helps with the Ethereum being clogged issue. It is a token. It is on the Ethereum network, but it does delegated proof of stake side chains. But basically what that is that they will run side chains that manage different decentralized apps or dApps that run on the side chain and then eventually settle up on the Ethereum blockchain. So in other words, it's like having a bar tab. And the bar tab is just run, you just do it, and then you settle it up all at once at the end of the night. So that's what Loom Network does. And their primary focus is gaming and social networking. So it's not that appealing on a broad sense because it's very specialized. It focuses on gaming and social networks, but it does have a good following for those who play those games, and it's a good platform to build more games on. So as usual, I started with looking on YouTube about who's talking about Loom, and frankly, not many are. Most of the chatter on Loom is about the prices and the charts. There is some coverage from Coin Bureau, but it's a bit dated. I haven't found a good breakdown of the coin in a while, but it's on Coinbase. It's out there. It's traded well, and it helps with the Ethereum network to take some of the burden off of the main chain. So the best breakdowns that I saw were again from Coin Bureau. Again, Guy does a great job, but it's rather dated material. So there's one from September of 2019, and another one from a couple of smaller channels, but again, when I dug into these videos, there was mostly a charting exercise. The main topic or discussion of it was from Coin Bureau's write-up, which I'll include in the description as well. And it explains, again, Loom Network is a blockchain platform for gaming dApps. So there's more and more dApps that are being put on here. It supports many different approaches to the Ethereum network in a side chain. And it has some limited appeal, but there is some appeal to it. And again, it helps with the bandwidth issue. So it's not the top coin that's on my list, but when I was looking for coins that help with the Ethereum bandwidth problem, and they were very readily available, and this one was on Coinbase, it intrigued me. So I dug in a little bit further and looked at the charts, and I found that to be even more intriguing. So let's take a look at that next. So when I look at the charts, the two charts that I bring up are Loom versus USDT and against Bitcoin. So against USDT, we see a general trend that it's been going up, went up until April and then started to retrace. And if you look at a Fibonacci retracement of it, it's come down about 50%, which is a good acquisition frame or position. So the best time on this chart was really to grab it, about 2 weeks ago. But hindsight's 2020. What is the chart telling us now? The chart is telling us that if this plays out and it goes back up to the 1.6 or the 2.6 as typically expected, Loom could be going from 15 cents now to 30 to 40 cents. So that's an attractive buy. It does not move quite as rapidly. And the other thing that's encouraging from the chart is that when it was going down, the volume was not high. So normally when the volume is low on a downtrend, that means people are holding it and waiting for it to bounce back. So people were buying it much more when it's heading up. So this looks like it has a solid floor in the 10-cent range. So there's very low downside, but there's a good amount of upside. The all-time high is in the 70s for this. I think it was like 77 cents. I could probably show that really quick. Let's look at the weekly chart. Let me even look at the monthly chart. No, that won't work. Look at the weekly chart. Oh. Well, that didn't work in Huobi. Let's try to look at this on Coinbase. Coinbase. All right. Much better chart. Much better time frame. So, looking at this long term, we can see that it was as high as 23 cents. And I think it goes back even further than that. If we go back to, where can I, Binance. So Binance on the BTC chart, if I jump all the way back to the weekly, you can see that, yes, there's a lot of good history here. So the history goes all the way back to an all-time high of somewhere in the 1800 sat range. So that is about 7 times where it's at now. And the current pricing is 15 cents. So it's roughly $1. So, well, again, in terms of Bitcoin, it can go up 7x from here. Looking at the Bitcoin chart today on the daily chart, sorry for jumping around quite as much, the Fibonacci shows a very similar story. Zooming back in, you can see that you have the same kind of time frame. Last few months, it ran up. The volume dwindled down when it went down. The SAT value got around 220 sats. But the potential based on the Fibonacci extension shows 525 to 710. Roughly a double to maybe even a triple. So the potential is there, and then if you look at the long term, you've got 270 sats, and in terms of Bitcoin, if I look at the monthly again, it can go much, much higher, as you can see. It can go up to 270 sats to over 2,700 easily. So maybe even 4,700. So that's like 15x of where it could be from now. Now that's best case scenario. Again, that's like when things go public and then there was a major boom in 17 and 18. It's going to take a little while of time for it to retrace to that level. But the upside potential is there and the downside is minimal. So it's on Coinbase. It's a cheap coin. It solves some of the Ethereum problem. There's not a lot of downside, and there's major upside. So to me, this was an attractive coin for the long term. Maybe not for like an immediate pop, but you never know what could happen. But the downside risk is minimal, but the upside potential is very high. And those are the kind of coins you want to look for building long-term wealth. Not financial advice, but the downside risk being low, upside risk being high, that's a good risk-reward scenario.
And there it is. So Loom completes the set of the Ethereum 2.0. Let's fix it with a layer 2 solution. Matic is your home run hitter. Your doubles hitter is loop ring. Your singles hitter, not too, it's not too sexy, but it could double or triple. That is Loom. So the chart looks good. It's got some proven track record. It's on Coinbase. It's cheap, and the chart looks really good. So the price is attractive. The upside is there. Is it the best coin? I don't put it in my top 20, but I'll put it in my top 30 to 35. So I wanted to complete the set of the 3 coins that I found to solve the Ethereum the scaling problem. There are definitely other platforms that are out there to compete with Ethereum, but as far as the set of the coins that competed or helped Ethereum to get to the 2.0 or bridge that gap, and so we have that, and they solved the proof of work, proof of stake transition and the bandwidth issues. Loom was a nice option that's out there. I'm a little surprised, honestly, that Coinbase added it, but it's there. It's a decent coin. It's a decent project, and it could certainly make you some money. Not financial advice, but it could certainly pay off for you if you wanted to get into it at this point. It looks like an attractive acquisition spot. So with that said, there's another piece for the board, and I'm going to close the drawer on the bureau, and I'll see you next time.